Hello, everyone. I am Queen Lily, and today we are discussing Donald Trump, the election, and more. So I am glad to have you on my live. If you'd like to become a member, the first level is the Ruby's membership. It is $4.99. And the second level is the Diamonds membership. It is $9.99. So if you would like to become a member, you are welcome to and you are appreciated. And on my live, if you want me to read your comments, simply just send me a super chat or a super sticker and I will gladly read your comment. But let's all be respectful in my chat. You respect me and I respect you. Thank you. Please, no profanity, no actual stuff. No beating up on the other people in the chat. Please, let's have a good time and respect each other. You respect me, I respect you. You disrespect me, I just may disrespect you. And I don't want to do that. I'd rather walk in the way that God wants us to. Kindness and love. Thank you for coming to my chat, to my live. I am Lily Young, and this is Life Under Trump. I think this is part 5, if I'm not mistaken. So we got a lot to cover, and I think we're going to have a good old time. Hey, Miss Bugs, what's up, Queen? Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for coming to my live. So we're going to get started. Like I said, it's about Donald Trump, and we will discuss some of VP Kamala Harris, but this is mainly about Trump right now. And I want to talk about how did we start it? How did we get there? VP Kamala Harris on this side and Donald Trump on this side. How did we get to where we are today? First, we had it was President Joe Biden and Donald Trump running against each other. And then the MAGAs, Republicans kept saying Joe Biden's too old. He don't need to be in it. So Joe Biden did what they wanted. He stepped down and handed the ball over to Queen Kamala Harris. And they still was not satisfied. Once he handed the ball to Queen Kamala Harris and she's taking it down to court, they are mad. Oh, she stole the election from Joe Biden. Just pushed Joe Biden out the way and I don't understand. That's what Trump view is on it. And then we have where they having the presidential debate. She dog walked him at the presidential debate. And if you look at either side, Kamala Harris side, Donald Trump side, is no comparison. Educational wise, no comparison. VP Kamala Harris come from a high grade, a high pedigree. Donald Trump comes from money. But they gonna bump heads because it's two different types of people. She's a highly educated person. He just a spoiled 2-year-old brat, come from his daddy's money. His father, Fred. His father, who was a person that had either Alzheimer's or dementia. VP Kamala Harris' mom died from cancer. But the point I'm making, we are comparing the two and trying to figure out how did we get to where we are today. And I believe with VP Kamala Harris, being that she's a black woman, educated, she wasn't liked. Donald Trump is a 34-count felon, and he has 6 bankruptcies, cheated on each wife, and his crime list goes on and on and on, from sexual assaults to on and on and on. But he is accepted. No matter how hard the black woman works, she has no felonies. She has no criminal charges ever against her. She is a prosecutor. But this guy has 34 felonies. And his crimes just piling up and piling up and piling up. But white America, they think Donald Trump is better. So they put Donald Trump up there. And they put Donald Trump in a place in their mind, they actually believe he is God. They actually believe that Donald Trump is their Jesus Christ. They actually believe Donald Trump is their Lord and Savior. God is bigger than Donald Trump and VP Kamala Harris. Yes, VP Kamala Harris is highly up there because she has such a great pedigree. She's so educated and smart, married a man of intelligence. Donald Trump, just a rich man with money that was left to him by his daddy. He didn't have to pull up his bootstraps and tighten up those bootstraps to get that money. It was left by his daddy. But white America put him up there. He doesn't have the education to compete. He does not. He doesn't have a great wife to compete with Doug Efnoff, VP Kamala Harris' husband. He does not. Melania can't sit with them. Melania has none of it. Melania just a woman that not Biden, Putin put on his television news and aired out all her personal parts. And Donald Trump has not spoken up. How did we get here, America? How did we get to a place where less is better than greater? Less of just having money and a wife that did news is better than a highly educated husband, Doug Efnoff. How did we get here? When President Joe Biden handed VP Kamala Harris that ball, he knew her qualifications. He knew those credentials. He knew her pedigree. He knew she was a hard-working prosecutor, stern woman with a pretty face, but that bite is dangerous. Donald Trump, again, a man with money, a man of greed, a spoiled two-year-old brat, pisses in his depends. VP Kamala Harris, she goes to the bathroom. She doesn't have to sit on a white sofa with a towel up under her. But white America put Donald Trump up there. He is their savior. VP Kamala Harris, they look at her as being less. A woman, a black woman. She is less. I refuse to let this black woman in the White House. But sooner or later, it's going to level out. And Donald Trump, Elon Musk will be revealed. I'm going to show y'all some videos. Let's get this party started. Thank you for coming to my live. I am Queen Lily. I am grateful to have you. Please hit that like button. It's 165 of y'all and only 9 likes. You don't have to pay for the likes. Just hit the like button or hit the dislike button. It's up to you. Either one, I'm fine with it. Thank you. So I'm going to show you guys some videos, and it's going to tell us how we got here, and it's going to show where we are as well. One moment. Let me take a sip of water, okay? Thank all you beautiful kings and queens for coming to my live. Thank you, Lil Swan, for the blue hearts. I love you. Okay. I want to say this. The Mexicans, let Donald Trump tell it, the migrants, the immigrants, they're pretty much blamed for a lot of things that goes on in this country. Those people are really hardworking people. They are. And you can say what you want to about Mexicans, but before they got here, there was already high crime rate. There was already RAPES going on here. There was already burglaries going on here. So to blame everything on the migrants is delusional. It doesn't make sense.
You want about us Mexicans, but the one thing you can't say is that we don't work hard. Hell yeah. Think about it, bro. How often do you see a homeless Mexican on the street? If we're on the street, they're selling. We're selling oranges. Hell yeah. Right? Yes. We're selling something, bro. You know what I mean? Say what you want about us Mexicans, but the one thing you can't say is that we don't work hard. Hell yeah. Think about it, bro. How often do you see a homeless Mexican on the street? If we're on the street, they're selling. We're selling oranges. Hell yeah. Right? Yes. We're selling something, bro. You know what I mean? Say what you want about us Mexicans.
I have never in my life seen a homeless Mexican. Not even in Mexico when I go visit there. Never. And what white America has not thought about, who's going to do all the dirty work, the hard, dirty work that we don't want to do, that blacks and whites don't want to do, because we have become too educated. We don't want to do that kind of work. So if you run off the migrants, the Hispanics, the Mexicans, the Venezuelans, Haitians, because they all are in that category where they live. If you run them off, you have not thought about this. That's what white America doesn't do. They think of just in the mindset of greed, what's for them, only for them. So you have not thought about, if you run those people out of this country, who is going to get out there and pick the oranges, pick the tomatoes and all that stuff? You haven't thought about that because greed has taken over your mind. It hasn't allowed you to be visual to see that God has brought them as a blessing, because I'm not getting out there picking peaches. I did that when I was a little kid. I'm not getting out there messing up my hands that God blessed me with soft hands, picking strawberries. None of that. Because America is so selfish, it has not thought about, if we run those people out of this country, who is going to do that kind of work? Because black people will not go back to slavery. We didn't get an education to go back to slavery. We did not work hard to get to where we are to go back to slavery. So what, you're going to put your hillbilly white people out there? And tariffs.
For the man is going to take America back, baby. Donald J. Trump, man.
What's one of your biggest issues?
It's probably going to be inflation, because I sell T-shirts and all that stuff.
Your T-shirts are made in the USA?
No, my blanks, no. See, that's the thing Trump's talking about. If we tax them,
Hold on.
tariffs,
Hold on one moment. Let me stop that a minute. Because I can hear my neighbor's loud car. Hold on. I'm going to turn my mic on because it blocks out all that noise. I hear my... Y'all hear me? Because I didn't want y'all to hear my neighbor's loud car. Hold on. Ooh, it's a little warm here. Let me go turn my air on. I'll be right back. His car is so loud. I did not want y'all to hear my neighbor's car. It's too loud. But anyway, I'm going to start back with this.
So I'm trying to who pays the tariff? They're paying the tariff.
You think that? You believe that? I was trying to say, because I sell merch as well. I sell you something for $10, right? You're going to sell it to him for $20.
Exactly.
But then I make you pay me $15 for it. Are you still going to sell it to him for $20?
I'm going to sell it to him for $20.
If I raise the price $5?
Oh, it's going to have to go up.
Right. So
yeah, the consumer foots the bill. I'm voting for the man that's going to take America back, baby. Donald J. Trump, man.
What's one of your biggest issues?
It's probably going to be inflation, because I sell T-shirts and all that stuff.
Your T-shirts are made in the USA?
No, my blanks, no. See, that's the thing Trump's talking about. If we tax them, hit tariffs, the same item they're making over there will cost the same to make over here.
We pay the tariffs.
Well, the companies pay the tariffs, not us.
China doesn't pay the tariffs. We do when they come in.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Like if I'm buying 1,000 shirts from China and there's a tariff on it, I'm paying the tariff.
Well, no, whoever's getting it imported in is going to pay the tariffs.
Yeah. I'm the business owner. I'm paying the tariff. China doesn't pay it. I pay for it.
Well,
and like if I'm the business owner and I buy 1,000 shirts,
I see what you're saying.
China's not Jolly. So I'm trying to
Who
explain.
pays the tariff? They're paying the tariff.
You think that? You believe that? I was trying to say, because I sell merch as well. I sell you something for $10, right? You're going to sell it to him for $20.
Exactly.
But then I make you pay me $15 for it. Are you still going to sell it to him for $20?
I'm going to sell it to him for $20.
If I raise the price $5?
Oh, it's going to have to go up.
Right. So
yeah, the consumer foots the bill. I'm voting for the man that's going to take
So always be careful what you're voting for. Do you know exactly what you voted for when you voted? A lot of Caucasian people voted for their white race. And they didn't pay attention to the things that Donald Trump was saying, because he told you all that the tariffs would be handled by China. That's not true. Tariffs would be paid by us Americans. The price of everything goes up. Like I have my own lipstick brand. I have my own hair growth oil. Now everything, when Trump get in there, it's going to go up for me. Where I have my products made, it's not going to go up. The lipstick I have made, organic lipstick made in China, it's going to go up on my side. And Americans greed. You don't think about the logical things. The price of everything is going to go up. You think food is high now. Wait till after January 20th. God bless America. One moment, please.
Media want to constantly talk about, oh, President Trump is a convicted felon. Well, you want to know something? The man that I worship is also a convicted felon. And he was murdered on a Roman cross.
Number one, did she just compare Trump to Jesus, Jamarcus Christ? Number two, what if I told you that both Democrats and Republicans is full of that shit you flushed down and told us Republican shit this stinks smoke? Number three, people in my community are disproportionately convicted for felonies, and I ain't never heard nobody refer to them as Jesus. Number four, y'all don't find it suspicious that these folks been hollering about law and order and how we should conform to the law and disrespect law enforcement this entire time? only for their Lord and Savior, Donald Trump, to be convicted, and all of a sudden now, it's all bad, man. It's all corrupt. Number 5, do y'all know people that look like we represent 48% of people serving life sentences, life without parole, or virtual life sentences? Number 6, white privilege is you being convicted of a crime makes you Christ-like, but them being convicted of a crime makes them criminal-like. Number 7, Oxford says a cult is defined as a system of religious veneration and devotion directed toward a particular figure or an object. Number 8, I think a lot of MAGA supporters fit this description right here. Misplaced or excessive admiration for a particular person or thing. Number 8, ain't this blasphemy? I thought the word said put no other gods before me, and I think comparing Trump to Jesus might be like that. Number 9, the conservative contradictions is baffling, and maybe they are a cult.
Guys, I'm starting to think you're in a cult. That is your right, but it's not your responsibility. I promise you that's not what your constituents would want. So if you believe in states' rights, except when a jury in that state convicts your nominee for president, you might be in a cult. If you claim you back the blue but want to defund the police, when the police go to your nominee's house to retrieve national security secrets, you might be in a cult. If you're supporting a guy whose felony convictions prevent him from getting a security clearance, you might be in a cult. And if the guy you're supporting for president has felony convictions that prevent him from going to Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Cambodia, Canada, Chile, China, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Egypt, Ethiopia, Indonesia, Iran, Ireland, Israel, Japan, Japan, Macau, Malaysia, Mexico, Morocco, Nepal, New Zealand, Peru, Philippines, Singapore, South.
News media want to constantly talk about.
So now, in January, not me, I didn't vote for him. You all will have someone that cannot even travel to other countries, certain countries, because of his criminal record. But instead of getting level-minded and thinking wise, white America chose to not choose a candidate that's well-educated, has the credentials, a prosecutor, already been in the Senate. She was a senator, and now she's VP. They chose a man that's with 34 felonies, a SA abuser. Grab him by the PUSSY man. Also accuse her SAing a child. America chose that, but not my black women, because 90% of black women, we chose VP Kamala Harris because we are about their education. That's what the black woman is about, and the credentials. But white America is about white power. Forget the black and brown people. White power. The black and brown people don't matter. White power. We don't care if we don't have anybody to get out there and pick our food. But you're going to care when there's nobody out there doing it. Because if you have not been taught how to get out and plant things, you're in trouble. Hold on, please. Just a moment. Hold on just a moment.
Fun fact that they don't want you to know about: black women are the most educated demographic in America. They'll tell you all these statistics about crime. They'll tell you every time a black man becomes a statistic, but they won't tell you that black women are disproportionately educated. How about the fact that black women start more businesses than any other group of women? Black women represent 42% of new women-owned businesses, 3 times their share of the female population. Majority black women-owned firms grew 50% from 2014 to 2019, representing the highest growth rate of any female demographic during this time frame. Yet for every dollar a white man makes, a white woman makes 79 cents, and a black woman only makes 62. And despite the fact that black women are excelling in the face of adversity, they are still more likely to be negatively portrayed in the media and online than any other group in America. Here's a fun fact that they don't want you to know about: black women are the most educated demographic in America. They'll tell you all these statistics about crime. They'll tell you every time a black man becomes a statistic, but they won't tell you that black women are disproportionately educated. How about the fact that black women start more businesses than any other group of women? Black women represent 42% of new women-owned businesses, 3 times their share of the female.
And VP Kamala Harris was willing to give up to 50 grand to help people start a business, help business owners. Only people Donald Trump going to put money in their pockets are the rich people. Elon Musk and all his rich, famous buddies. Everybody in this chat, Donald Trump was not going to give you anything. You know what he's going to do? Take away your grandmother's Social Security. Take away their Medicaid, their Obamacare. Hold on, I got something about that too. Just a moment, please.
Unemployed Trump voter who said they voted for Trump because he promised to kill Obamacare, but says he hopes Trump keeps his hands off the Affordable Care Act, which he relies upon. Obamacare is the Affordable Care Act. Here's what this guy wrote online. He wrote the following quote: I just voted for him because he's going to kill Obamacare. I am unemployed and Obamacare effing sucks. I'd rather just have the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, by itself instead of this communism shit. And then someone responded to him by saying, Obamacare is the ACA. It is literally keeping you alive. You voted to take away your health care. And then the original poster wrote back, quote, why the F do people have 2 different names for it? Obama equals bad and affordable equals good. I effing hate Democrats. Well, if you remember, it was the Republicans who branded it as Obamacare originally to try to scare people like you. Maybe your hate should be directed at those trying to take away your health care and not the people who are trying to actually save your life. How about that? Here's another story similar to that one. This person writes, quote, woman in my mom's group approved of abortion ban, grew a human with her POS husband. Husband now left. She voted for Trump because she is trad. That means like a traditional housewife. She is now complaining that Trump might take her Social Security because she did not think it applied to her. Only immigrants I want off this planet. Sometimes, me too. Quote, so we had a meeting at work with possible tariffs on vehicle parts. We are cutting holiday bonus because we have to stock up on parts. And my fellow coworkers who voted for this to happen had surprise Pikachu face, dumb Fs. One of you shared with us, I personally own a small business in the field of construction, and I could testify that my business has already started preparations for the tariffs. Prior to the election, I had conversations with suppliers and vendors about tariffs. Businesses are preparing. Americans can pretend that the tariffs aren't real, but I promise you that the rising prices and potential layoffs will be very, very real. Thank you. End quote. A quote family friend that voted for Trump found out that he is losing his job because the company is hunkering down for oncoming tariffs. I laughed in his face and said, I told you so. You could see his heart break. It was glorious. Here's another story. This person wrote, quote, one of my general contractors I partner with is a Trump guy. We want a new job that will start next year. I just told him I will not honor today's materials pricing past January. He asked why. I said tariffs could cause a 100% increase in the cost of goods sold or more, that I would send new pricing in the spring. He said, but I have to sign the fixed price contract with them tomorrow. And there you have it. One lesson learned, 2 days too late, too bad. So sad for Trump, are now furious at potential price hikes to their gaming consoles, responding to a story that console prices could skyrocket by 40% due to Trump's victory, and tariffs could make a PlayStation 5 Pro cost up to $1,000. A Trump supporter wrote the following, this shit better be fake news. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but none of this is fake news.
Well, enjoy those tariffs. Because next year around Christmas, that PlayStation gonna cost you more than a car. Enjoy it. God bless America. The choices we make as people, the choices we make in the name of greed. We don't think about other people. We think about just ourselves. Donald Trump thinking of just himself because he ain't worried about Mega, but Mega sure loves that savior. Yeah. God bless America. I have more for you guys. Hold on.
healthcare reform is going to be a big part of the agenda. When I say we're going to have a very aggressive first 100 days agenda, we've got a lot of things still on the table. But healthcare, that's part of the secret. It's the secret. We want to take a blowtorch to the regulatory state, okay? Yeah. I mean, these agencies have been weaponized against the people. It's crushing the free market. It's like a boot on the neck of job creators and entrepreneurs and risk takers. And so healthcare is one of the sectors, but we need this across the board. And Trump's going to go big. I mean, he's only going to have one more term, right? Can't run for re-election. Right. And so he's going to be thinking about legacy, and we're going to fix these things.
No Obamacare.
No Obamacare. I mean, healthcare reform is going to be a big part of the agenda.
There goes your grandmother, your aunties, whoever that has Obamacare. There goes their health care. Gone. Affordable health care is gone. Bye-bye. Oh, poor grandmother. Will Donald Trump cause her to be in her deathbed like he calls his wife, Ivanka? Poor grandmother. Poor Auntie Ella. Poor Auntie Eloise. No more affordable care. No one cares about the black and brown. No one cares.
So what happens now with all the cases against President-elect Trump? There's always been speculation that the various criminal cases against him would just evaporate. Either Trump's DOJ would throw them out, or because he'll be a sitting president, he'd be untouched, or quite frankly, he could just pardon himself. And yeah, Jack Smith's cases are expected to end, maybe even before Trump takes office. But that's not to say it all just goes away like that. The pardon power doesn't apply to state criminal cases, and there's no law preventing trials of presidents during their terms of office for purely private conduct. That means Trump could have to deal with the Georgia election interference case, even if it's put on hold until he leaves office. And he could still be sentenced in the Manhattan hush money case. But more importantly, let's look behind the criminal cases for a minute. I've said for a while that the cases that hurt Trump the most are the ones that hit him in the wallet, not the ones that could put him behind bars. Trump's still potentially facing a $450 million and counting liability to the state of New York from Tish James's civil fraud case. He's also in the process of appealing both of E. Jean Carroll's trial victories, for which he currently owes her in excess of $90 million. And Trump's participating in multiple civil suits brought by officers and others injured on January 6th. Those cases remain in discovery about what conduct is and is not official, but under Supreme Court precedent, they can continue while he's in office. So, does the election wipe all of the Trump legal slate clean? Not exactly. And if anyone tells you confidently it's all over, well, they're just wrong. So, what happens now with all the cases against President?
You know what statute Donald Trump sets for people? He sets that it's okay to be a criminal. It's okay to commit crimes. The crime rate is going to go up. More women will be abused by men. Because now with Project 2025, now Donald Trump telling y'all the truth. Yeah, he's a part of it now, but the whole time he was running to be president, he was telling y'all he didn't know anything about Project 2025, but now he owns it. He owns up to it. Yeah. More women will be essayed due to Donald Trump being in the Oval Office again. You would never hear me say president for him. Never. Women's rights are being stripped away. Thank you, white America. Because us black women, we stood 10 toes down for VP Kamala Harris. You would know what that is to stand by somebody, a loyalty, integrity, a great education. She come from great parents, a mother, Indian, an educated doctor, a father, a civil rights fighter, and he was a professor, and he still is alive, considered a professor. You come from money, you would never understand people that went through stuff. Donald Trump don't even comprehend what's about to come for him because he came from money. He's arrogant, and that's going to bring him down. He's a narcissist. It's going to destroy him. He's a me person. He's never about us, we, the people. He will never be about us, we, the people. He stood there yesterday lying, so he's going to give white people reparations. He's saying what he think y'all want to hear. He doesn't care about you. He cares about like him, Elon Musk, and anybody else that's a billionaire. And then to hear Mega says that VP Kamala Harris will get Diddy out. No, she's a prosecutor. She would never stand by the likes of Diddy. Your boy Donald Trump is friends with Diddy. That's who may pardon him. Because Donald Trump loves criminals because he is a criminal. I have more for you. Just a moment. If you'd like for me to read your comment, send me a super chat and I will gladly read your comment. One moment, please. Thank you for the blue hearts, LaSwan. Thank you, Gausius. This is about the votes. What happened to the votes? So one moment. Again, if you want me to read your comments, send me a super sticker or super chat, and I will gladly read them. I don't care what it is. I will gladly read it.
I don't give a shit what you say. Anyone who thinks Trump won this election legitimately, even though he's cheated at literally everything he's ever done, even though the GOP has cheated in every election for decades, even though Russia has been trying to get him elected for a long time, even though he has Elon Musk who's trying to get him elected, and Starlink, and the fact that Trump calls everything rigged, but it said this time it doesn't look like there's any fraud, even though he won the popular vote, and Republicans hardly ever win the popular vote, even though he lost the popular vote to two very unpopular people, Hillary and Joe Biden, and now he wins a popular vote against someone who's very, very popular after the 34 felonies, after the E. Jean Carroll case, after taking away women's rights, after having that Nazi rally in New York, after all the debates of not answering questions, after saying, I have concepts of a plan, even though he won every swing state, and nobody ever wins all the swing states, and those states who voted Democratic governors all voted for him for president in an election where Kamala Harris got 10 million fewer votes than Joe Biden did, when we had all these record-setting voter registrations. The odds of this being truly legit are the same odds as him actually getting hit by a bullet. Shit never happened. And hopefully a recount will prove that. And you know what I find funny? I think this is really, really funny. You know, all the men whose wives divorced them, and all the people who lost family members, people who lost big parts of their lives because they voted for Trump. Think about this. Think about them losing all this, and it turns out Trump didn't really win. That would be fucking hilarious. You guys did it to yourselves.
He just said what I was thinking. Yeah, he just said what I was thinking. I didn't have to say it. Thank you, sir.
This woman posted a video basically saying that there are voter regrets, and that this old woman says to her that she didn't know that Trump was going to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. She thought that he was just going to get rid of Obamacare. And she's like, that's one and the same. That's the same thing. And she was like, I don't know if I'm going to have insurance for myself or for my kids. And she's like, I empathize with her. I don't empathize with these people. At some point, you guys are going to have to realize that this was never about the better candidate. It was about racism. It was literally just about racism the entire time. It was only ever about racism. It was about taking things away from somebody else to better yourself. That was why people voted for Trump. The idea of taking America back was to take America back from Black people, from a Black president. That's it. That's it. Since the beginning of time, y'all have made it harder for Black people to get things. It's only ever been about making Black people suffer. And in doing that, you all suffer too. Broke white people suffer too. The whole idea of insurance being tacked onto you being employed, yes, only to make Black people suffer. Now Obamacare is going to be gone. You didn't even like Obamacare because it had Obama in front of it. That's it. Now, people will reap what they fucking sow. Cry about it. Like, This is going to keep happening. People are going to keep trying to take things away from Black people and make it so that Black people can't get things and people of color can't get things. And every single time they will end up suffering themselves as well. Because affordable care, affordable things helps everybody. It's not just for Black people. You have it in your mindset that you think that Black people are broke and they don't deserve anything and they should just work harder and it's their fault that they're broke and this, that, and the third. And it's that much easier for you to become them. For the grace of God, there go I. You never think it could be you. And then when it becomes you, you're like, why isn't anyone helping? Same with the 19-year-old girl who died from having a fucking miscarriage. Yeah, she was pro-life. And then when her baby did not make it and she was septic and she needed help, she needed that baby to be aborted from her body, she could not get that abortion. Why? Because her and her family chose to take away everybody else's rights. Now their rights get taken away too. You can't have your cake and eat it too. It's going to keep happening. You guys are going to realize it every single fucking time. History is going to repeat itself because nobody ever seems to fucking learn. I don't feel bad for you people. I don't feel bad.
I don't feel bad for anybody that voted for Trump neither, because when it all hits the fan, I know struggle. I will survive. I'm a Black woman. I know struggle. I will be just fine because we know how to survive in the worst situations. Brown people, they know how to survive in the worst situation. Just imagine they come from Mexico. They're going to be fine, trust me. Black and brown people are not going to be the ones to suffer. We just won't. One moment, please. I have one more thing to show y'all, okay? Thank you for coming to my live. I appreciate each and every last one of you all, and I hope you are enjoying the show.
He told his supporters, not that they're not going to have to vote again, but that they don't have to vote this time. That they don't need to vote for him this November.
My instruction, we don't need the votes. I have so many votes.
My instruction, we don't need the votes. I have so many votes. He said that on Thursday last week. And it turns out this is something, when you look, he says this all the time now. Watch.
My instruction, we don't need the votes. I have so many votes.
We don't need votes. I tell my people, I don't need any votes. We got all the votes we need. I don't need votes. We don't need votes. We got more votes than anybody's ever had. You don't have to vote. Don't worry about voting. The voting, we got plenty of votes.
For all the surface level weird behavior and language and strange choices and incoherence and odd donors in the Republican campaign, the serious core at the heart of it is that they are not planning on the vote being counted as normal. They are not counting on the election results being tallied as normal. They are not counting on the vote. And in fact, Trump is now repeatedly saying the vote will not matter. He doesn't even want your vote.
Apple News update that I was getting off of CNN, and then I was texting people like Tulsi and JD Vance. I was getting a different apparently Elon created an app and he knew who won 4 hours before the results. So as the results were coming in, 4 hours before they called it, Dana White told me Elon was like, I'm leaving, it's over, Donald won. He just fucking somehow or another.
I'm gonna go back into my pod and evaporate.
I don't know what he's getting, where he's pulling his data from, but he had like the most accurate data in terms of the rural states hadn't put the results in yet, but yet Trump was ahead in these states. Kamala's never going to win those states, so tabulated that and like put it all together. I don't know how he did it. But
yeah,
Dana. I haven't even talked to Elon about this. I don't know like the Dana translation, but Dana said he had an app, and he was like showing him. He's like, it's over. And he fucking left. Dude just left.
It's over. John Jones won. Just saying that.
He just fucking left.
Those guys sitting there laughing about an election being stolen. I find nothing funny about an election being stolen. And what does the white people do? The ones that do not care about anybody else, because the vast majority of white people, they feel the same way I do. The election was stolen. You hear those guys laughing about it, that Elon was in on it. But the mega bots and the mega maggots, they're going to sit in this chat and say that it was not stolen. Again, VP Kamala Harris, the educated one, the one that's a prosecutor, the one that put away big time DRUG cartels, the one that know men like Donald Trump. She will handle Donald Trump. Letitia James is not done with Donald Trump. And that case is in New York. That's a state case. He can't get out of that. Just imagine those two women, two black women, communicating, talking about this. Donald Trump ain't getting away with anything. He stole this election, him and Elon Musk. That's in my opinion, and I'm entitled to my opinion. Yes, I am. The election was stolen from VP Kamala Harris. And I'm going to leave it as that. Y'all have a good evening. I love you all. Goodbye.